stop me when I get to the right category. Within the past 12 months, more than 1 year ago, but within the past 3 years, more than 3 years ago.
Within the past 60 days. I see
50?
a gender specialist 4 times a year.
Okay, so that's still considered an OBGYN?
Right. That's in that category, or endocrinologist. You know, specialist.
Okay.
I see a specialist 4 times a year.
Okay.
See, this is the kind of thing they need to. I'm sorry, go ahead.
And was this most recent visit for prenatal care, pregnancy care, or was this for a gynecological care checkup?
It would go under gynae care and checkup.
Okay. And thinking about the most recent visit for an annual gynecological exam or checkup, that is not for prenatal care. What kind of place did you go for this exam? A doctor's office or HMO? Clinic, health center, or some other
It's the health center. And you probably, if there's a question about, you know, I'm postmenopausal.
You said you postmenopausal?
I would, yeah, if I was a cisgender female, you'd be talking to a postmenopausal one. Or just like right at menopause.
Okay. So,
but you know, note this, that all of this is, if I were cisgender, this is what her answers would have been.
Okay, I understand where you're coming from.
Cool.
So is that community health public health clinic?
Pardon me?
Is it a community health center or public health clinic?
It's a community health center. It's El Rio.
And now think about any medical test you may have had in the past 2 years. Have you had a test for HIV, the virus that causes AIDS? Yes or no?
I think they do that every time they pull blood on me.
Okay,
so that'd be a yes. Yeah, I got all that kind of screening. I get that's 4 times a year. They do those kinds of things for me.
They pour it on you?
Well, no, 4 times a year they're doing blood panels. So whenever they do a blood panel, I'm sure they check it for STDs.
Oh, okay, I see what you're saying. And what about a test for any other sexually transmitted infection besides HIV? Have you had this in the past 2 years?
That's what I'm saying. You know, I don't pay any attention to the results, but they're doing blood panels on me 4 times a year, and all that stuff. Anything they check regularly like that, I'm sure they do, or they would have said something if I come back. They don't ask me to go take a, they don't ask me to go, they don't ask me about, do you need to be screened. They're just like, they don't ask, so they must be doing it when they do the blood. I think they just do. I'll find out, but it probably doesn't matter to your survey anyway.
So would you say yes or no to that?
I have to just I assume yes. I got to remember that you're just asking yes or no questions, and you know I'm trying to counsel. You know, I'm thinking in terms of like helping you guys make a third gender.
No, you're helping out a great deal.
Good.
You definitely. But I just want to let you know we asked everyone the same question.
Yeah, that's cool, but it's only if it's only. I mean, do you have? I mean, let me ask you. Are you just got a yes or no checklist there, or do you have a space for notes, too, on every question?
That's basically only because we won't bias the survey, and it's just a general survey, so we can't hit all the little nicks and crannies.
Well, no, I mean, do you generally take notes as the people talk more than yes or no? You do.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, good.
Yes.
Okay, fine. I just didn't know if I was putting a burden on you that you don't usually have to have because you're not there to take notes. Just take yes or no answers.
No, not at all.
Oh, cool.
You said that you had an HIV test in the past 2 years.
Yes.
Did the doctor specifically recommend this test for you, or was this your impression that the test was done as a routine part of the exam?
That second, I'm pretty sure that my blood is being tested all the time. I'm pretty sure they screen it for HIV.
So the doctor specifically
No, I'm just guessing that it's part of the protocol. I'm just guessing that it's part of what they do, just standard. I'm getting pretty complete blood panels done every quarter, and I'm just guessing that screening for STDs is part of the procedure. I mean, it's a very complete blood panel that they're doing because they're doing the hormones and the various metabolic stuff too. So I'd imagine they're doing the I'll check if they want to know. I'll find out. It's El Rio Community Health Center.
Oh, okay. So you said that you had a test for a sexually transmitted infection in the past 2 years. Did that to be tested? Did the doctor specifically recommend this test to you? Was it your impression that the test was done as a routine part of the exam?
I'm just guessing that that's what part of what they're doing.
Okay. And have you used birth control in the past 12 months to prevent pregnancy, manage a medical condition,
No.
such as
No. Anything involving female, anything, yeah. Think of me as a post-menopausal woman, so you can like predict my answers. So if you're asking about pregnancy and stuff like that, it's just going to be a no.
Have you ever given birth?
No.
Okay. And currently, birth control pills require prescription from a doctor. We support making birth control pills available over the counter if the Food and Drug Administration said it was safe and effective.
No, I believe that nobody should self-medicate, something like that. There's too many possible side effects.
Okay. And I have one last set of questions to help us better understand the people who took part in this survey, and then we'll be done, Thomi. I do appreciate your help. Are you currently married, live with a partner, widow, divorced, separated, or have never been married?
Never married. Never met a woman hated me enough to marry me and breed.
And what is the highest level of school you have completed and the highest degree you have received?
I have Bachelor of Science.
Okay. And are you yourself of Hispanic, Latino background, such as Mexican, Puerto Rican, Cuban, or some other Spanish background?
No.
And what is your race? Are you white, black, Asian, or some other race?
I'm mixed. I'm mixed Caucasian and Semitic.
And what?
Semitic. Middle Eastern.
You said Semitic?
We're Jews, so I'm Middle Eastern and European blood.
Oh, I see what you're saying. And now think about your total now think about your total household income from all sources before taxes for last year. That includes income from all sources such as your job, income from other family members' jobs, Social Security, any other sources, with your total household income from under $35,000 or $35,000 or more.
Under.
And now
Way
just stop
under.
me when I get to the right category.
I'm sorry, say what?
Just stop me when I get to the right category with your household income less than $10,000.
10 to 15. 10 to 15.
Okay. And in politics today, do you consider yourself a Democrat, Republican, and Independent, or what?
I'm a what?
Okay, all right.
Well, no, I'm like a surviving '60s radical.
Okay.
I'm a hardcore constitutionalist trying to get our government back after the November 22nd coup of 1963, man. I'm a dissident activist who's taking a bullet for my writing.
Oh, wow, hardcore.
I'm hardcore. It's like, I hate the Republic. Excuse me, Republicans are red, Democrats are blue, and neither party gives a crap about you.
Nothing about your
telephone usage?
Nothing about your... Yes, is there at least one telephone inside your home that's currently working and it's not a cell phone? Yes or no?
There is no landline. If that's what you want to know. I mean, you're talking on my cell phone, which is everywhere, but there's no landline here. I have I have a computer that can do voice over IP, and but no actual telephone landline. My internet can do telephone. There's no conventional landline, but I've got everything else here. You know, I got a wireless dish on my roof.
Okay, and how many adults age 18 and over currently live in your household, including yourself?
Full-time one. I mean, full-time is just me, and this is really a community center. This artist cooperative. So like, you know, my bedroom is my bedroom, but the rest of the building is like workspace for there's 4 people, other people that use it on part-time.
Okay, so how many adults would you say?
Well, you know, full-time there's just me. Part-time working,
Oh, okay.
yeah, part-time 4 more. Full-time is
Okay,
only me,
so,
and part-time there's 4 more.
and how many children under the age of 18
None.
currently live in your household?
None.
None. And what's your zip code?
85719.
And were you born in the United States, on an island, Puerto Rico, or another country?
Continental U.S.
And my next question is personal in nature. Please keep in mind this interview is completely confidential. Do you think of yourself as straight or heterosexual, lesbian, bisexual, or something else?
I don't know. I haven't had sex in too long. I'll let you know if it ever starts up again. It's too hard to describe. It's way too hard to describe. So I'm just
Okay,
like I
no
just
problem.
abstain. You know, I've been asexual for a long time.
Okay, no problem. At a later date, news reporters may want to talk further with people who took part in this survey. Will you be willing to talk to a reporter from a national news organization
Oh,
about your
absolutely.
views?
Absolutely, I'd be
Okay.
glad to because I'm a transgender activist. You know, I'm an advocate for my community, and they like me. I'm not Caitlyn Jenner. I'm sorry.
So, oh no, you're good. So a reporter might reach you more easier. Can you tell me your first name? Well, I know your first name is Thomi.
I'm Tommy Tudor. My
My
my stage name is Tommy Tudor. I'm a fairly well-known old hippie artist. I'm part of the indie underground. I'm a musician, a stone cutter, and
Are you a musician?
yeah, my group. You know, this is really the headquarters of Real Things Artists Cooperative, which is kind of like a loose association of people who do the flea markets, fairs, and festivals together. You know, we're the
Oh, really?
performers, we're the vendors.
Oh, okay. I'm about to look that one up. Do you have Facebook?
Oh yeah, Tommy Jane Wasserberg. Tommie. I spell it Tommie, and the last name's Wasserberg. And the business is called Real Things Artisans Cooperative, and it's all off my Facebook page, but I'm blocked there now. You got to talk to me at Google. And I'm CTOMEEZ 00. Well, I'm always in Facebook jail because you know, political correctness. They don't like my language. They don't like the shit I talk about, so they get me blocked. They're offended.
Oh, wow.
Well, you can't say tranny in public, and I call myself a tranny. You know, it's like, I'm sorry that you got beat up with the word, but where I come from, that's what the transgender people called each other. And I got blocked for it. And then I got blocked for like talking about my sexuality without really being dirty. You know, I didn't use any vulgar terms, and I just, you know, talked about what kind of man I wanted. I need a man with a vagina. And then I talked about, you know, that I think, you know, as long as a guy didn't, you know, need to like put it anywhere other, you know, than in my hand or my mouth, I was cool with a cis guy. Because you know, I consider anal sex to be a public health hazard, and I just can't, you know, that's part of the intersex thing. It's like inside my head, my inner eye cannot see my penis; it sees a vagina there. But all my senses are telling it, no, there's a penis there. Sorry, no, that's a penis. So I've had to live my whole life like that. You know, where my brain thinks there's a vagina there, but there's really a penis. It's maddening. That's what gender dysphoria is.
Oh, okay.
Um,
Well, it's been a learning lesson for me as well.
well, I'm glad. You know, I'm really glad because you know about I don't know. We were at least 5-10 minutes into the call where I said I got to turn my camera on for this because there's one person in an organization that I want you to put because she's much more knowledgeable about this. She gets paid to do this. I'm just doing it because I'm me and I need to when people don't know. The professional who teaches this is a woman named Thomi Clinton, ThomiClinton, and her organization is Transgender Community Coalition, Transgender Community Coalition.org. And I'm going to want from you the name of the organization doing this survey so that I can contact them on their headquarters on my own to follow up and just talk to somebody who's like doing, you're obviously one of the agents at the phone, and you've done an excellent job, and I appreciate it. And I'd like to follow up with them because I might be able to get some money out of them for the community coalition for consulting with you guys on this. So what's the name of your org? Are we done with the survey yet?
Yes, we're done, sir.
Ma'am,
the name
please.
of the organization is Princeton Research Associates.
Cool. Is there a contact name? You know, if there was a press inquiry, I'm press. I'm independent press. You could, well, this is, I could be live streaming this, and there could be 1,000 people watching right now. I just, you just happened to get me. I was about to make a phone call, and everything was shut down. So it's Princeton Research what? Associates.
Yes.
Is there a name of an individual? I mean, you happen to get a famous person online. I'm Tommy Tudor, baby.
I didn't know you were famous.
Well, I'm infamous. It's really more infamous. Infamy. It's more infamy than fame. That's why I'm not famous. It's because I'm infamous.
It's no contact person. Just look it up on a website.
Got it. I'll find it. Who have I been speaking with, sister? What's your name?
My name is Samantha Wright. It's been my pleasure.
It's been my pleasure too. And you sound, am I correct in assuming that I'm speaking to a well-cultured African American woman with an education and shit?
Yeah.
I thought so. So I'm in your accent, and you're probably a northern girl too. Are you northerner? Did you grow up in the north or the south? You grew up in the north.
I can't say it, but I do have to go.
Okay, well, I'm a Chicago boy, and I grew up in the melting pot, and I sometimes was the only white face in the crowd because I'm a musician. And it's been a real pleasure, Samantha. Thank you so much.
All right. You're welcome. Bye-bye.
Hi, bye-bye. Well, that was fun. That was a lot of fun. Now I got to call the other Samantha and find out about the apartment for Peter, one of my other imaginary friends. You guys are what I do to waste my time, you fucking idiots. You're what I do instead of watching cartoons. I play with real cartoons. Fucking fools. Shit. I probably should turn the camera around so you can see what I'm working on at the moment. It sure the fuck ain't a bunch of porn. Yeah, I happened to leave a tab open one time when I was like, getting eyeballs for take to the bedroom to go and whack my pee-pee. You fucking idiots. And now I don't have to even whack my pee-pee no more. I mean, I got plenty on my mind. I see myself. I can see myself. That's what I'm looking at when I whack my pee-pee is me, like the way I want to see me. I'm not looking at somebody else to exploit them sexually in any way at any age. I'm looking at me to try and model something that looks, for my inner eye, something to look at for my inner eye, to connect my hand to my inner eye. It's like, that's really a vagina there. That's not a penis. That's what all my life, my whole fucking life. It's been my whole sexuality is praying to God that I would have the right body when I woke up from the little death of the orgasm. It's my entire sexuality, my whole life. I women that wanted me, yes, I would let them want me and want them right back. No problem. As long as they were sexually and emotionally mature. And oops, a 15 and 3/4-year-old one that was emotionally and sexually mature came into my life. That does not make me a pedophile. That does not make me a child molester. So namaste, motherfuckers. Have fun on whatever hot, ugly planet you land on. Because you have failed the test for living on Earth with the Earth and Earth's people. Yes, I'm simping out. That's because I'm one of the tribal leaders. I'm a hereditary medicine person from the tribe Levy. Excuse me. And the boss is pissed, and I don't care. Cole is fucking, I don't care, Cole. You lied to me. You came on to me with a bunch of bullshit. So whatever the fuck problem you've got with the Kiwi farmers right now is between you and the Kiwi farmers. And you're going to have to get me in Hotmail because I can't fucking respond at Facebook. Thanks to the Kiwi farmers and the AMBs. And it's the AMBs count that they're talking about. It's CS, and all of a sudden, I'll just show you. I'll show you, fuckheads, what's going on. I mean, I was in a good mood when I started this, and now I'm pissed because I'm looking at what's on my browser waiting for me. I'm under-medicated. I don't have a lighter right now, so I have to light my stinking shit from a candle. And it's leaking all over my desk. It just got on my pad, my writing pad. So this writing pad is wasted, which is okay because it's pretty much near the end anyway. So, and I just had a great fucking day, wonderful fucking day today. Ari showed up. We didn't get over to Grijalva's office because Ari showed up, and then Peter showed up right behind her, and I haven't seen Peter in months because he's been sick. And he never answered my last phone calls, and I don't chase anybody. He's like, and I thought maybe he'd gone back to Holland to be with his family for a little bit, but instead it turned out he'd been real sick because they almost killed him with some prostate medication. But and then we went over. We were going to do Grijalva's office in the morning, but we never got to there because I never got to prepare the presentation. So we went to the amphitheater place and met Mike DeMerit, and wow, that was a really good meeting. We met two of the monitors for the beginner lab, and boy, what a nice facility! And it's like $20 a year, and then you pay for the time you use on. But for what they're going to charge me an hour, that's better than going and replacing the wheel on my machine or buying a new machine this year. I mean, just like that's where I'll go when I need to do some work. We'll just spend a day there, and one day a week over there. Holy mackerel! I'll get a lot finished one day a week over there. And check this out. I found Mike had a specimen that I've been looking for 2 years. I have been looking for this for years. Never been able to find it for any price. Anything I was happy enough to buy because it always had too much calcite in it. That there is some nearly pure. Look at that. Look at that. This is nearly pure sodalite. $5 for that piece. I couldn't believe him. He said, "Oh yeah, $5." This was the only one he had at the moment. It was sitting there and it just jumped out at me because it was in a bucket full of dumortierite, and dumortierite's a totally different stone. And this was just like, whoa, dog! And $5. Let me see what it weighs. no. Well, it's more than 200. So, like, I never seen even the crappy stuff for less than a dime a gram. So that's 20 bucks right there for the crap at a dime a gram. Now, this ain't going nowhere from my hand for less than 50 cents a gram. And it's more than 200 grams. So this is a $100 chunk at least, right here. Because I know every slice. That's $20, $20, 20. You know, that's $40. This is $40 slice, $40 stone right there. Bam, every one of those, 40 bucks every slice that comes out of here. But hey, you ask the people that know, you ask the people that really know about me, the man beasts or the Kiwi farmers, they'll tell you that, that's just gravel and baling wire, man. Motherfucking idiots, mean, stupid people. That's all they are, is mean, stupid people. I mean, the one of them is going off about, she's laughing at, they're laughing at the internet tough guy stuff. It's like, hey, look, I'm Romanian. I trained in Krav Maga in high school. It took 15 cops when I was in my prime to get me under control if they didn't want to shoot me. They got me under control real fast. The guns were out. So I usually just submitted. I didn't fuck with them. Only certain couple of times. One time it was like, no, you're not going to arrest me. I went into a fetal clutch. I was like a roly-poly, and they had 15 of them couldn't get me apart for about 10 minutes. Picking me up, body slamming, kicking me in the head, kicking me in the kidneys, trying to get me to release my clutch, and I wouldn't. It's like my father had been beating me like that since I was a little kid. The fuck is all over the floor? Shit. Oh, butter. Garlic butter spilled. Son of a bitch. I got melted wax all over my table. Oh, now it's getting on the tablet case. Got to move that shit quick. Probably ought to get a plate to put candle on at this point since it's burning out all over the table. You hear that? We get, one of those every few hours, and we get some planes flying over a little too low on their way back to Davis Mountain, and that's it. A very quiet neighborhood, very quiet, clean neighborhood. I love it. Yeah, and really all over Tucson, it's very neighborhood oriented. We were up by Ariana's place, coming out of Lapidary's shop, and she ran into her next door neighbor. That's at Circle K, and it wasn't even the usual Circle K that he would go to. He just happened to be on his way to work, and that was the convenient one. We usually go to one closer to their house. I seem to be getting my Chicago accent back now that I'm in Arizona and not having to fake being Texan. I was in Texas so long. Toward the end there were Texans that thought I was native Texan. So I got a grip. We're getting a grip on the backyard. Ariana was out in the backyard today working on it. I'm getting some. See, I haven't had any self-starters around here in many years, for any longer than a week or two. So what happens is we get it almost there, and then it falls apart again because they go on down the road, or I run them off because they're assholes, or they can't handle me and they run away. That's how it's been going since 1990. Actually, since about 1999 when we lost the Manson. I went down the road and was just totally brutalized at the Rainbow Gathering and at Woodstock. And I limped to Texas following something that a brother named Vince Walks a Lot was involved with. And this is where I met Lori Starfire for the first time. I don't know if she really remembers me much because she's kind of like doesn't pay attention to much besides herself sometimes. You know, she's got her trip, and you're either tuned into her trip in lockstep or she doesn't notice you. She's one of them kind of hippies. So anyway, Vince was going to make this. Vince is going to make this. Cyber teepee camp in Bastrop. Said he had 7 acres in Bastrop, just off of Highway 71. Well, by the time I got to town, Vince is nowhere to be found, but I was able to land on Fonty Fox's land because that's what Fonty does for the family. He's got an acre, and he's harbored a bunch of people there. I forget, somebody, one of the celebrities, boss landed there, and he had it for years. I don't remember. I don't know. You know, I don't pay too close attention to anybody's details, unless there's a reason, and he gave me a reason not to. There's a few buses ended up there. Oh, I know who it was. He went, yeah, that guy. Poor baby. Terrible drunkard, but an excellent musician. One of the few musicians who I could play with. The rest of them were so full of themselves they couldn't even play with anybody but themselves. And then the big time, you know, big movers and shakers couldn't get it together for you know, they couldn't keep a regular weekly thing going, either one of them. You know, one party a year, and a few weeks of potlucks down in Zilker Park, planning for how they're going to get to and from the gathering. And that's all. You know, by the time I got to Austin, the whole family thing had fallen apart when Happy Jack and Michelle landed there. You know, they just weren't, you know, weren't that into the scene, and there wasn't that any scene building around them. They were kind of hiding off in the industrial area, had a little place that just their close friends. You know, there weren't any big parties there, big public parties there I ever heard of. So, you know, small private get-togethers is about it. So there wasn't much rainbow thing going on unless you were like close friends of either Happy Jack, Fonty, or Dave Schanzel, or whoever else, and I never even met. But those were the 3 main focuses. Unless you were a close friend of theirs, there wasn't much going on, except for Ruta Mile. It was also very expensive. And I was having trouble accessing gender therapy. So, came here. Actually, I came to Quartzsite. Actually, I went to Phoenix, and Shiloh Stormcrow picked me up in Phoenix and brought me out to Quartzsite to meet Doug, one of the originals. So you have originals or founding circle, and first generation, second, and third generation rainbow family. Actually, there's 4 generations at least, because I know people with great-grandchildren. Aletha Johnson has great-grandchildren. Now, I'm not founding circle. Duck is founding circle. I'm what's known as the first generation. I was one of the people that showed up between about 1985 was when my elders tell me that Stephen Principal and his people moved in and kind of hijacked the consensus. Was in 1985. So I was one of the people that was there before 1985. I landed on Venice Beach in 1982 and lived with the family. I've been living with the family and working with the family all over the country since then. And I didn't go to a gathering until 1989. And I don't even want to go into that, but that's where I met Felipe and David Williams. Actually, I didn't meet David Williams. I met David Williams, was the one who was directing my traffic all the way across country in 1989. It was Davey Williams, the Mesa School, he called himself. He's out Santa Barbara, and he's connected, you know, he's Buddhist, connected to the Dalai Lama's people through the Nichiren Shoshus, or those are the guys that are non-meal right? No, it wasn't the ones that were selling it big time. Like I think that was Nichiren Shoshu. I think this was, I forget. These are the guys doing the peace pagodas. Was the ones he's with, and they represent the Dalai Lama in America. And David also was involved with the indigenous contingent, the Hopis, Thomas Vanyakia and David Manangia, when they went to the United Nations. Grandfather David might have been dead by then, but Thomas Vanyakia, David would, I don't know if he was there with him, but I was in the same place with David and Thomas at one time. I forget exactly where it was. But basically, there's several different, hippie is not generic either. There's a certain kind of rainbow hippie. Not rainbow family, but rainbow hippie. That's what I am. We're the hippies that are trying to act like Hopis. And really, to me, the hippie way is the way of the ancient Israelite before the temple and shit. When we lived, the Abrahamites. Before we lived that way. When we're just living shepherds and hunter-gatherers and shepherds and migrants, living close to, being an animal, one of the animals on the earth, and a social animal on the earth. It's the hippie way. We don't want to take over anything. We don't want to overthrow anything. We don't want to hurt anybody. We don't want to get hurt. We don't want anybody to get hurt. We just want to live a simple, uncluttered life and maybe leave the world a little better place when we're gone. And it's funny because 30 years ago, when people ask me if I was a deadhead, I tell them, well, Grateful Dead's really, fine band, one of the best bands out there. And Jerry Garcia is no doubt one of the finest guitar players who ever lived. But that's really no reason to start a religion. Jerry played more live performances in front of more people than anybody ever. I mean, I don't know what the stats are, but there's probably nobody even coming close because nobody would ever do as many concerts as Jerry. I mean, the Dead had a serious schedule, and Jerry's band played even more than they did. When the Dead wasn't touring, Jerry was busy doing other things. Played with all different kinds of players. Did some amazing sets with Ornette Coleman, who's an avant-garde jazz player. So, with Jerry's sound mixed with that, it's an amazing set. But it's no reason to start a religion. So here I'm 30 years later quoting him. Because that's where it's at. I'm always, at the 420 show, I'm looking around, and it's like, God, these people look like the same people I've been around since I was this big. Because these are, they're free-thinking people. They're creative, productive, stay happy, having a good time. Don't piss and moan about all their sorrows. All their sorrows. It's about, we're here for Simchas. Simchas is joy, sorrows is sorrow. We're here for the Simchas to just wash the sorrow away. Now, excuse me, but yesterday's history. And tomorrow's a mystery. So the gift is in today. Right now. Sometimes I'll get going to where I cannot even think more than 5 minutes ahead. Because I'll be either so stressed out from all the bullshit coming at me that I have to plan each move and I got to, just shake my head free, go from task to task. Or I'm so focused on what I'm doing that I'm not paying attention to anything else. The gift is in the now. The more you think about yesterday, the more you regret what you did yesterday or worry about what you're going to do tomorrow, the less you're going to be able to the performance today, performance in the now, optimal performance in the now requires focus on the now. If you want to be the best you can be, you can't be thinking about anything but what you're doing right now here. Okay? And this is why I don't, with most people, I don't have to verbalize with them that, hey, you don't want those hands doing something that's going to hurt you. Okay, those hands know what they're doing. And the arms know how to make them hands move fast. And the legs, holy shit, look at that shit move. And, you don't want to get hit with this either. That's a hard hat. That's a very hard hat. I might be wearing something harder on it if I know I'm gonna get in a fight. There's gonna be a spike on that motherfucker. Okay? That's the part of the world I'm coming from. You know, Gladdy and Taylor was Romanian. And, you know, Krav Maga is all about getting away from people. It's not about fighting. It's about getting away from them, hurting them as bad as you can without leaving yourself vulnerable. That's the whole philosophy of Krav Maga. It's nothing offensive about it at all. It's like protecting yourself, getting the fuck out of the way, and hurting them as bad as you can if you get the opening. It's what Krav Maga is about. And at least that's my understanding of it. It's what Art, what's his name? Art Shanker. Art Shanker. Or was that his father? I forget. Irv and Art. That's right. Irv was the dad, Art was the son. This is the way Art brought it to us. It's like, it's all about getting the fuck away as fast as you can, hurting them as bad as you can on the way out. That's how we train. It's like, and that's why, you know, it's like, yeah, I read it's like this. Come on, take your best shot. You know, my fighting position. You know, my fighting position is, bitch. Here's my fighting position, bitch. All right. This is like, here's how I am. Come on, take your best shot. And I'll be about shoulder length apart with my feet parallel, ready to just, you know, wherever I gotta go. As you come at me, you know, it's like you're gonna hit a turnstile. Your first shot at me, you're gonna come into a turnstile. You're gonna be like going one way or the other, or down, and have my foot in your face, or on your throat, and that's all. You're done. Okay, this, you're done. No more. I get you here, here, or here. You're done. No more. And if I got razors there, I hit you anywhere with them. You know, if these guys are armed, I'll take your fucking tie out. You know, whatever you open to me, you're dead because I'll slice it open with a razor. So, let me exhale. You see how worked up I got? Do you see me sweating? Do you see scars on my face? Do you really honestly think you see scars on my face? Other than what happened from the falling, he slapped my face on a mountain? You people are stupid. You're fools. And this is it. This is it. I'm not going to get upset. I'm not going to get excited about you guys anymore because you've already lost. It's time for me to turn my back on you and do what I do best. Okay? And that ain't picking garbage. But I'm real good at that too. So let me get my breath and calm down. So I just, you know, you guys, that was 5 of you that just hit the wall coming at me. Okay? If any of you pull a gun on me within arm's reach, you will shoot yourself. Okay? That's the way it works. I do not get into this stuff at all. I don't do none of this. None of this at all. That's what Fungu is about. It's like, show me your shit. Come on, show me your shit. Show me what you got. Take your best shot. I mean, when we were kids, we'd stand there like this, and like, boom, right in the solar plexus. Hard. As hard as we could. It's like, how hard can you take it right down there? Okay, bam! And I can't anymore because, you know, I got shot and sliced open. I can't use this at all because it's much more important to me to have my hands, my dexterity for dueling and playing the horn than beating the fuck out of an idiot. Hi, Jan. How's the big tit shit going, bitch? Anybody want to see my dick? It's not a micropalace. And well, these guys are looking pretty good. I'm sorry. You know, if you don't like my tits, cool. Peter was here. I said, you know, Peter's having some he/she problems. You know, getting the hears. Because I don't understand because I'm real bigender. And it's you know, it's way too easy to get Tom to come out. And I don't like letting Tom out because it scares my friends. Dig? Now Cole is raging right now, so we're gonna deal with Cole's rage because, frankly, Cole's full of shit. Cole's just full of shit. You know, I don't know what his trip is. He's just plain full of shit. He's not an honest man. His war experience is not what he claims to be. at all, and that's not cool. And it's causing me problems with those idiots. Pass straight along. That's just not cool shit. And what happened was Addie, knowing that I'd probably do this, somehow made it possible for me to, when I go looking for whistleblower to log in at AMB, CS came up with it. So I said, well, what the fuck? I'll slug in at CS, see what's happening, answer his mail. This is the internet. Yeah, that's the internet. Shit like that's in your face. Well, okay. Anyway, and I, excuse me, but I do not condone child molestation at all. And the fact that I did have improper sexual contact with a minor does not make me a child molester. It's just your opinion that that was a statutory rape. And, oh, they can't. They're minors. They can't make their own informed decisions, which is a bunch of bullshit. There are young women who are sexually mature at 12. And if they are not properly counseled by their parents, they can easily become, promiscuous. And lots of people under 30 whose lives have been ruined by young women like this. Now, this wasn't even a woman like this. This was just a young woman who happened to be like on her own, younger than most. She had come to us from a live-in relationship with a guy. So like anybody who's like putting me there, I got no time for it. I'm tired of apologizing for myself. Call me an unrepentant statutory rapist where I can't see it, but be prepared to prove it in court that that's a true thing. All you can prove is that I once had inappropriate sexual contact with a minor. For you to say that I'm a threat today, you're going to have to do some proving of some like intent. You can't prove intent to do what I claim what I did is not what you say I did. And you're going to need, this is what libel is about. You claim that I'm these things, and you claim that it's true because I admit to it. But I didn't really admit to that. I just had to concede the point because you refused to listen to anything, any mitigating circumstances whatsoever. Underage, can't consent, statutory rape. 1, 2, 3, done. Which is like, you need to prove it in court, boys. That's all I got to say about that. Because like, I'm just like, don't want to rage. I got much too much cool shit going on. So like, let me turn the camera around so I can watch the cool shit while I rage. Now, where do we want to put this bitch? And what do we got to put it on? Looks like it might even fit on the Bibles and the shell. That'd be cool. It fits on the shell. Let's see it just with the Bible and everything. But boy, we had a wonderful day. We went from the lapidary place. We went to the to Middle Eastern market. Boy, I haven't gone nuts in a grocery. I was having so much fun. That soul food. That's where my family's from. We're from, we're Ashkenazi Jews, which is, Semitic and Caucasian racially. That's what we are. We come up out of the Levant or Levant into the Balkan states, and that was my family. So we're Semitic in origin, and then we mixed with Caucasian. So we're not really white people, like, people who claim to be, we're not white Anglo-Saxon Protestant. We're mixed race Hebrew Israelites. Share a link with your followers. This cannot see shit. I don't even know if it can see it properly. I think it needs to be a little higher. Let's see how this does. Let's take it on there, because that's really kind of silly. It was in my shell. Let's nudge it. I'm what you call an unorthodox Jew. I was raised in actually I was raised in my generation was responsible for the birth of Reconstructionist Reform Judaism. That was my generation. I sang with Debbie Friedman. Dr. Louis Binstock was our spiritual leader. And I was at Oconomowoc at the 1973 biennial where it was born. I was also at the Warwick camp that same year as it was being born. Come on, just look at it straight. Yeah, that'll do it. A Logitech web camera. And it's got the little clip. Had to play with the clip a little to get it sit right. There we go. That looks good. So we're coming on the first hour here. Yeah, I got so much exciting stuff going on. Oh shit, I didn't want to close that last one. Oh well. I don't even remember what was on it. Is this one that this can close? Let's see what's going on at Quora right now. Okay, did Native Americans commit atrocities against other tribes? There was only one known massacre prior to Columbus getting lost and bringing Judeo-Christian genocidal colonialism, smallpox, and syphilis to Turtle Island, the Crow Creek Massacre in South Dakota in the early 14th century. Like any other people, there were rogues who were brigands, but for the most part, intertribal warfare was more akin to a polo match, winning victory by counting coup rather than a fight to the death. Things changed drastically in post-Columbian times because rival tribes would scout for the colonial armies. The Sioux nations may never have been defeated if their enemies didn't help the army scouting out their winter camps. That's going to get some should get some upvotes. Why does people hate me? Oh, that poor baby. It was very badly worded. There's a lot of young people asking questions. And a lot of professional people giving them answers. And there's just no trolling. You don't get away with trolling in this place. So the question is, why does people hate me when I don't do, I should say, I should suggest an edit for this kid. Somebody's calling this down for just a simple little grammar Nazi thing. It should be 2 sentences, and it should say, why do people hate me, instead of why does. Let's see if this will get them to fix it. Please add a valid link. Oh. I see what, I'm just editing the source. we go. Oh, good. Carrie Lynn answered this. I've met her, and we were friends at when she first came out. And we lost contact because she wasn't a good friend, and I lost an account, and I never connected back to her. So, this is a very important question in terms of the cost and of transgender healthcare and insuring it, because there's disagreement over, you know, which procedures are medically necessary and which procedures are cosmetic. I mean, there's a case to be made for even the facial feminization surgery and electrolysis and stuff for people with really severe dysphoria. They just can't stand what they look like. It's maddening because you know, everybody's a little different. My brain simply does not see my penis. It thinks there's a vagina there, but the penis reminds it constantly through the other nervous system. One's parasympathetic and the other's on, I don't know. One of them sending, the other's receiving. I don't know how it works. You have to talk to a neurologist for that. But there's separate, you know, yeah, one sending and the other sending. One sending from the brain and the other sending to the brain. And the one sending from the brain doesn't see my penis properly, and the one sending to the brain is like demanding too much resources for my penis. So it's really maddening. But finally, I got up the right estrogen doses and androgen blockers. I'm good. I have to really want to masturbate now, and there's none of this. I have to masturbate if I want to be able to do anything else. That's, you know, it's just you can't unless you're transgender, you can't know what kind of a milestone plateau that is for me emotionally to my whole life. You know, it's like, oh, I better go beat off before, you know, I mean, this thing's driving me nuts. I got to get rid of it. I got to, you know, drain the lizard. Got to drain the lizard. And this week, you know, got to, you know, it's kind of hard to break the going to bed and waking up habit, but I don't have to break in the middle of the day. And I don't like, I mean, if it's not like really responding, I don't like waste the time and I just go right to sleep because I don't really need that release to get to sleep anymore either. Woo! I tell you know, you can call me a fake tranny all you like, but that's what's really real. And I know that transgender people who suffer gender dysphoria know exactly what I'm talking about. You know, Ariana and I are so similar in terms of our transgender experience from, you know, within our own selves. She was kind of always long and kind of geeky. I mean, she's just like she is now, but a little more male. You know, neither one of us personalities are, you know, this is what we are. And, you know, she's you know, a lot flightier than me and was always much more nerdy and effeminate as a child, and her parents didn't inhibit it. They allowed it. So when she finally got around to transitioning, it really wasn't that much of a deal for her because she didn't have to socially transition too much because she was allowed to be herself all her life, even though she had the wrong stuff in her pants. Where I had been forced into male mode, and I got real good at protecting myself. So it's taken a little more time to scrape the male off. But it's getting there now, especially now that I don't have to think about that thing. It's like, not, you know, I don't have to think, you know, I don't have to think about anything below my belly button anymore, which is really, really nice. You know, you can't know how, you know, to have a chemical disorder like overactive penis. You just don't, and to be, you know, be female in the head and have a penis, it's always wanting to do with penis thing. You just can't know that unless you've actually experienced it. So the question is, are gender confirmation procedures corrective or cosmetic? And Carrie Lynn, you know, I'm going to have to like add her. So we were buddies at one point. She was, I think she's in the late bloomers. I think I remember her coming out. She hasn't been out very long. If she's who I think she is. Um, I think I know what that is. She's way cool, nice lady. But she's kind of bigender. She calls herself gender fluid. I call myself assigned male, and I don't like doing it. I don't know what I call myself. I call myself Thomi. Yeah, I'm Thomi. You'll never meet anybody else even remotely like me. I haven't. I mean, I've met plenty of kindred spirits who are just as fucking wacky, but nobody quite the same kind of wacky. Before I've met some wonderful people in my life. You know, what would I do if I sang out of tune? Well, we'll flock to you and have fun. That's what I've been doing all my life. It's like going and having fun with people that wanted to have fun, get the fuck out of their cages, treat each other as equals, like good Americans, no matter what color they were, because that wasn't part of the scene. You know, the only thing we care about, are you kind or are you mean dick? It's all we're worried about. Everything else is up to you. It's all about what you're going. If you're kind, creative, interesting, I feel safe. Hey man, let's party. And the harder we party, the more people are going to come and do it with us. It's my philosophy, and it's working. It's been working. Most people don't get me for more than about 50, 52 years old. And some go into the 30s, which is kind of silly because they're probably, you know, they're messed up their own self. So Carrie's response is, I would say a bit of both, which is the way it is. I realize that the answer is not going to be very popular. By the way, should it not be called sexual rather than gender? Well, that's sexual and gender. Well, yeah and no. If we were looking at a person's sex as plumbing and gender as presentation. Well, yeah. I'm no secret. Oh, Peter. Up Peter.
Hey, Tommy.
Hi.
Hi.
Are you still like feeling up to anything? Like come over?
Yeah, but not right now. I'm just getting into a movie. Why did you want
Well,
to,
yeah, I want. Well, there's no hurry. So like whenever enjoy your movie. And I'm kind of busy right now, but I'm not so busy that I couldn't have you in here jabbering with me.
Oh, okay. Well, after the movie, I'll swing by and I'll drop some of that off for you.
Cool. Thank you. I'll see you later. So what? It's 7 now. You got a 2-hour movie, 9 o'clock or so.
Yeah.
All right, that sounds good.
It's like an hour and a half movie.
Yeah, that's cool. So 8:30, 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
All right, see you later.
I'll swing by.
All righty, happy day, man.
Yeah, you too.
Bye-bye. That was my imaginary friend. Oh boy, they talk about how I'm comedy gold for them. They have no idea how much fun me and my friends have making fun of them. Actually, we don't even make fun of them. We're just more like talking how pitiful they are. I mean, this Sneasel idiot is making fun of my tough talk about my deadly laugh, but he called it my deadly right. It's like, hey man, are you did you fail? Did you fail first grade reading comprehension, dude? I said left, not right. I'll read some of this shit eventually, maybe. I don't know. Camera's running. Camera's running. I'm at my desk. I'm not live streaming because I don't really have a place to live stream that I like yet. That now is just infested with kiwi farmers. Fuck that shit. Bunch of little kids and kiwi farmers. There ain't that many of them there. Well, I shot to the top of the musicians the other day. Quick. I wasn't even playing much music. I was walking around cleaning. I was just talking to them, blowing on the flute a little bit every now and then. Flute, where's flute? Where's good flute? What did I do with flute? Oh shit. I'm sure it's here. Oh no, it's right here. Yay. Put it where it needs to sit when it's not. Okay. Well, I had so much fun in the grocery store today. You'll see the pictures when I put them up. Middle Eastern grocery store. Like I said, we're Mediterranean people. We're from Romania, and my father's one of my father's best friends was Greek. Boy, his wife's Christmas cookies. Holy shit! And her baklava, and just everything she made. Oh boy! And then my family had all the Jewish food. Oh, oh boy! and my grandma, and they had the ikra, they had the taram salata is my favorite, the fish. It's I'm not sure what else is in it besides, I think it's, I forget what they put in there. This is my favorite stuff. There's my grandma's favorite stuff too. What all is in there? But they had some of that, and there you go. There you go. Oh, there it is. Well, how about that? It's mostly fish roe with the oil that's been like aged for a year. Yummy stuff. I got some eggplants to make some pot lachelle and baba ganoush. We got tahini at the other market, but I got some chickpeas, and I got some fava beans, and I got some bulgur wheat and couscous. So we're, Americans are so stupid. They buy that Cosbah brand or Middle East or something, and there's like 3 ounces in the package and a little bit of spice. For like $2.99, I got a 2-pound bag of bulgur wheat, and I think it was $1.99 for a big bag of cilantro. And there's not much else in it besides lemon juice, garlic. So that's like $2.99 is what you'll pay for like 3 ounces of the shit made up, ready to just put water in it and add these together. And there isn't that much to it. Same thing with tahini and falafels, and there's not much to it. You just grind this shit up together and cook it. Some of it don't even need to be cooked. I got some fresh figs too. Yay, my favorite. My favorite fruits are apricots and figs. And they're both very short seasons. They're both very fragile fruit, so they don't ship well. think I want some of my treats. I had some domas, and at the time I would have dipped some pita hand. I'm gonna have some soul food. I'm gonna make my dinner. I'm gonna have a soul food dinner. I want you to see this, you assholes. You know, oh, I just learned soap. What's this, bitch? That ain't me. That ain't me fapping in my hand. That's some crisp cucumber and melon soap. Fuckheads. Let's see if this shit's any good. I found a whole mess of whole mess of discs. 70s R&B hits. That sounds like a winner. Let's see what that is. Now let's put it on here for now, I guess. Well, I don't really want to be sitting on camera eating, but I'm going to put it on here for now while I'm in the kitchen making my dinner. Let's put these worse. Let's see money. Oh yeah. Fuck yeah. I found a whole stack of discs like that. I'm gonna check this out. This whole stack of nice stuff. I think it was like somebody's music. You know, it's what they use for the background music in the office. This is what it looks like. Looks like they bought a music package from somebody, of bootlegs. There's George Strait 50 top singles. I didn't realize he had that many. Well, I can't stand that shit either. Have You Forgotten by Daryl Worley. That's probably another weird country dude. Carpenter's Christmas Portrait. All right. Diana Krall. Dixie Chicks. That's what we'll play next, Dixie Chicks. Shania Twain. I never even heard her, so we'll put her up to play. Some Peter, Paul, and Mary. Oh boy, yippee. All the good shit. We'll play them tonight too. Higher Ground. Barbra Streisand does not get played around me anymore ever until she renounces the Zionist rogue state of Israel. Fuck Barbra Streisand. Zionist pig. Bathhouse Betty. More Dixie Chicks. Fuck all this here. More Barbra Streisand. More Barbra Streisand. Latrina Martina McBride. I don't want to listen to George Strait. Not that wonderful, but not that bad. A couple of good things, but too much Barbra Streisand and George Strait. I'm gonna have to think of some art to make the. I almost forgot that. I did the slice. Slice on the car. Okay. That's Middle Eastern soul food here. Show you what's going on. I better drop the browser so I can see what's on the screen. Okay. Yeah. This is the Middle Eastern tortilla. It's called a pita bread. And a Middle Eastern taco is called different things depending on what's in it. This and then it's not all vegetarian either, but it's mostly, you know, we got here. What we got here is some figs and some pineapple. Those came out of the garbage. The chicken came out of the garbage. Everything else was bought at the Mediterranean store. Some pigs, some Kalamata olives, and some green olives, and some roast red peppers. There's a little tahini in there, and a little sriracha, which is really oriental. Some Bulgarian feta cheese, and here's that crummy cow feta cheese. And I've got a finely sliced garlic and some cocktail onions. Those came out of the trash too. So, so this is mixed bought and trash. But like, I don't see it as garbage. I see it as food that I'm salvaging. So I'm gonna make kind of a taco out of some of this, the cheese and the chicken and the pepper and onions and garlic and olive and stuff, and just be munching on this stuff pretty much for the next couple of hours. That's a couple hours worth of food. Before I sit down, let me check my weight. I think that's still over 190. Kind of warm in here. Oh, I might have left the stove on. Yeah, it's on. That's why I feel warm. Okay. And I guess since I'm teaching the ancient Hebrew way, updated with the Native American, I ought to like do a little ceremony before I sit down and eat, because that's what us priest type people do, is to remind ourselves of the unity of the universe and to give thanks and praise to the sources of our bounty. So I did the little, hand washing there before you touch the food. You're supposed to wash your hands. I need to light the candle. And they usually don't. I don't know what they do about the candles they light during the week. I have to ask some Orthodox about the candles. If they only ceremonial light every time they light the candle ceremonially, or because like when the Native Americans light shit, it's a ceremony. And my friend Ferguson Plain, who is a Ojibwe elder, check him out on, I think he uses the name Ferguson Plain on his YouTube channel. Tells some wonderful stories. There's one, Nokomis and something. It's a wonderful story he tells on video at YouTube. He tells me just say the prayers, like when I smudge, just say the prayers I would say, burning stuff in my own native tongue, which is actually English, but our traditional tongue is Hebrew. So there's prayers for lighting this in Hebrew. And basically all Hebrew prayers are is, praise to you, O Lord, our God, King of the universe, who did thus and such for us just now, as your basic Hebrew prayer. And I need to find a candle that's going to actually work. My candles are just trashed, gone, because I ran out of my lighter disappeared. I've been using candles for the last few days, and we have it in here. I can't play it, especially with my wrist wrecked. I never could play it very well, but since my wrist has been wrecked, I sure can't play it. My ability to play the piano since my wrist has been wrecked is like really limited to. This is what we listened to when I was a teenager. Late 60s, early 70s kind of stuff. This was it. You know, and my crowd was always the mixed crowds. Like we were listening to Motown, and we were listening to the rockers, the white blues rockers, and we were listening to Delta blues players. From Lakeview, which is was always the rainbow community to begin with. Yeesh. So there's I don't know what it's recycle, reuse, repurpose, reuse, redeploy. We're the RRs. Of course, there are some other RRs that are redundant, recidivist, reprobate rednecks. You can throw in retard too if you want to, if you use that term. The epitome of that is Michael Osborne, the trucker and beast. These people are so fucking redundant, it's pathetic. It's like, don't you have anything better to say? I mean, like, enough already with the, you're a rapist. It's okay, fine, I'm a rapist. Next. It's really funny. It's like these people are trying to tell me how little talent I have, how terrible I am playing the saxophone, how shitty my stones are. What the fuck else? Just anything could possibly be wrong with me is, and like their shit don't think. They're constantly projecting all their own fantasies onto, assuming that I'm that way because of the single incident I admit to. So they assume that that's me. Always. Always happened. Really close. So I've never had sex with a woman hardly who didn't want me first. Okay. So since I'm eating, I was going to do the prayers. I need a bigger screen. And this needs to be able to minimize. This is fucked up. Or just to be able to, Logitech software is fucked up. It takes up too much screen. If all I need is just a little bit of a monitor, I need the rest of the screen for the browser. It's not right. I'm going to call Logitech and ask them. Oh boy, I took some great pictures today. Got the birds. Oh yay. Oh yes. Let's look at the pictures. Got the birds. Nice. I got some good pictures today. Let's start with the store. That's the Mediterranean. That's the view of the restaurant in the store, in the back of the store. And that's the view down. That's the halal butcher right there. That's their produce and the halal butcher and the spices. That's going back toward the down. That's from the other end of that aisle. Looking that way, you can see the hookahs up there. I think I took a shot at just the hookahs. Yeah. Nice camera. I think they're 150 or so new, and I get them for 60 to 80 refurbished. It's got a motorized 12x zoom, autofocus, flash. There's Ariana. We had a little snack. We shared a falafel. Our falafel wasn't very good. I make better falafel. I got me a cholla in bloom. That's the fuck you cactus. This will jump up. They'll be laying down. I think I got one laying. Yeah, this is laying down on the ground. If you kick it wrong, it'll jump up and bite you. Yeah, those are good. These are nice. The mountains look really good. Nice mountain shots. Yes, thank you. This is the closest I've been to the Catalinas yet. Not such a good shot of the cholla. There's a better one. More mountains with Ariana, doing her Persephone thing. I don't like that one so good. The mountains in the background. That's a little better. That's too bad because this was a good shot. I had an idea of zooming in on her face, but then the mountains didn't come in. That one either. That's a little better. I backed off a little bit. But then there was all this stuff in the way. Yeah, this was the one that would have been great. Well, actually, that's not too bad. Because she's out of focus and the mountains are in. So I couldn't do this one. I went where there wasn't so much obstruction. Got some really nice shots from here. Real beautiful shots from here. That came out nice. Let's see if we got a better one. Nope, that's not good. I took a couple. That didn't work. That was a cool shot. Oh, I did get a good one. This is a good one. That's so Arizona. Slow speed because you got shitty road or something. This was interesting. These are traps for African bees. And I want to eat one of the figs right now. And the blessing for the first fruit of the season. And we're coming up to Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, so I'm going to be praying on camera more, which is really not a good thing to do. You're supposed to hide when you pray. You're not supposed to do it in public. But I suppose if I'm trying to get the public to pray with me, that's a different story. I'm not trying to, do anything but get God to come home as soon as possible and repair the damage these fucking idiots have done to our planet. Really, that's always my whole prayer all my life. Heal me, heal the planet. That's my basic prayer. Hey, yo. I called him straight by his name, and you're not supposed to do that. I've been calling him by his name, and I'm not, I'm violating the rules by saying his name out loud. The proper pronunciation of his name that was passed to me by the Rebbe's the Rebbe's nephew is Yehiva, and her name is Shekinah. And that's Mother Earth and Father Sky. And for the first fig that I'm going to eat this season, it's Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam she'achiyanu v'kimanu lazman hazeh. Amen, or something like that. I don't know what it means exactly in English, but it's about eating the first fruit. I'll have to look it up for you sometime. But this tree apparently had some bees. It's a mesquite. Apparently had some honeybees, Africanized honeybees. That must have made a hive right there. Well, they had these buckets, honey traps. Flip that around. I got a closer shot of this. This is probably what this is what they're keeping the bees out of. That's Cactus Jack's, which is like one of the local, like, been in business forever. You know, this business. This is one of those go back to the '60s kind of used car places. There's a nice shot of the stadium. This is in my neighborhood. That's Cherry Street that I'm on. And here's the tree with the birds. Where's the birds? Okay, that's a dove there. He didn't come out too good. Neither did this one. Probably trash these. Oh, let's see the birds. There she is. This is some kind of warbler finch. That's the female. There was a pair. There's the dove. That's a nice shot. Too bad it's not sharper. Hopefully we'll get some. Yeah, there's a beauty. There was a pair of doves, and that's trash. That's I like this. If you there's where the two of them were together, but not that great a shot. There's the male. He was a little out of range. Let's see if I get a decent picture of him. There's the female again. There's a nice picture of the female. That was really kind of disappointing when we showed up because the this tree, those feeders are usually all full, and these warblers or whatever they are, I have to find out what they are. There's the male again. Let's see if I get decent. That's a good shot, but he's too far away. That's a nice one. That's a good one. This is a good one. That's probably the best one so far. I didn't even realize there was a bee in there. Or is this an old picture? Oh yeah, those are the old pictures. Okay, nice. Very nice. So I gotta, this is what I'm doing right now. It's not fucking around with the idiots and uploading shit. It's counterproductive to even talk to them directly. It's more fun to talk about them here. I've been harassing Tom Madera. His son is gay. They both went to the Air Force Academy, but his son is gay. Tom's gay too, but he won't admit it. So they joke about, he and Chloré, Addie the asshole. That's Addie and Dave show. It's a defunct internet radio show. A couple of right-wing, well, I don't know about gay, but Addie's total fucking, like Milo. He's like Milo, but I don't think he's really as, like, openly queer. He's always talking about his girlfriend. Where Milo's just like that. Voice packer. Likes it. Milo likes it. Well, okay, Milo, keep it away from me. So, I'm not, I'm from the hood. You can be whatever the fuck you want, but if you can't take a joke, fuck you. That's where I come from. We used words like nigger and Polak, spick, nick. That's what we all were to each other. Yeah, I'm the kike. Sheeny. It's the Polish people would laugh about the Polacks. Oh yeah, he's a Polak. And the Jews would be, oh, that fucking kike, that Ghana motherfucker, that mumser. It's like, if you can't take it, don't dish it out. Pretty much. And, it's problematic language. Meanwhile, they're trying to impose their will on you without your consent. But you can't say naughty words. It's that double standard, and then we get these wannabe elites. Man, they ain't gonna ever get there. There's a reason that Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton made it to where they made it. How Trump did it, I don't know. I mean, you know, real estate's a funny thing if you know what you're doing. And his grandpa, I know his daddy got him in it, and his grandpa got his daddy in it. His grandpa owned a brothel during the gold rush up in British Columbia, I think. And daddy was that old mean old Mr. Trump that Woody Guthrie was singing about. When I ain't got no home no more. He got addicted or something by Trump's mother. Boy, Stephen King's got some shit to say about it. He's been from, you know, it's like, you can't like this guy. This guy's scarier than any of my characters. And I've been saying straight along, you know, it's like, look at this cabinet. Like, you know, it's like they're making a movie of how America died. Let first elect Donald Trump, and then let him hire all his friends. Oh, this is gonna be yummy. Making a Middle Eastern taco here. kind of winging it. Cause I don't have anything green or wet. I don't have no tomato or lettuce. That usually goes on stuff like this. So I'm just, I got a pepper and rolling up a flatbread, rolling stuff inside of a flatbread is pretty global. You know, the Vietnamese have flatbread sandwiches, Indians, Indians. Thing of it, which the Native Americans didn't really have flatbread until post-Columbian time. I'm not sure what they used for bread before the fry bread, but fry bread's occupation bread. I'll read the story to you sometime, and it's killing them. That's why the res people are so fat from all that fried bread and not much good food, because they're not growing their food no more, not gathering their food. I should have known better with a girl like you. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. All right, we're 2 hours into this one. This drives some guys nuts. You know, so who's gonna watch all this shit? I don't care. These are my diaries. You know, you want to live rent free. You want to let me live rent free in your mind? That's your business. These are just my diaries. We'll go back and get stuff. Let's finish this answer to Carrie Lynn and go on to something else. Yeah, this is going well. See, I like this. Question and answer. No fucking around. And they think I'm gonna get banned. And really, all it is a search engine where individuals answer the question instead of a machine going and finding articles that match. The individuals go find the articles that match and give their opinion with it. Way cool. Oh, this is just yummy. Yummy, yummy, yummy. My stomach is just like, yes, thank you. Because somebody edited my, this is much better for sure. Should all existing, see, mine was, she made it much simpler. Should all existing federal anti-discrimination laws be amended to clearly state that discrimination based on gender identity or expression is illegal? Yeah, that's much better. How many answers we got? One answer collapsed. Someone's answer wasn't very good. Wow, it's just too yummy. Wow, that's some soul food. A little pineapple to wash down the. Mm-mm-mm. Ah, what a piece of pineapple. I should try one of these green olives. Oh, goody. Good choice. The real cheap ones were too small. I knew there wasn't going to be much meat to them. I got some fatter ones. And they got pretty small seeds. These are good ones. That's lots of meat on those. The little guys were too small and would have had big seeds in them. Mm-mm-mm. I might get in trouble for this, but I worded it carefully. My opinion of genders. I know what your opinion of genders is, if just by your saying it that way. With men, women, and freaks. It's your opinion of gender variance that we'd like to know about. The dude's name is Teodoro Cervantes Leon, occupational therapist, mountain man, and Christian. My personal opinion is no, only because I'm not in favor of the laws in the first place. Whoa, dog. It has nothing to do with my opinion of genders. Yeah, that of course not, because you hate everybody equally. You're a Christian. If they haven't found Jesus, they're going to hell. You're probably one of those kind of Christians. If you don't favor the anti-discrimination law, it would appear that you, as a Christian, don't want to be forced to do business with anybody you believe is going to hell because they failed to give it up to Jesus. Most of the country has had quite enough of the lobbying groups trying to legislate their morality on the rest of us. The First Amendment was specifically worded specifically to prevent such oppression by a minority. See John Stuart Mill on liberty. If this is not the case, can you say what your objections to such protective legislation as the Civil Rights Act of 1964, the Education Act of 1972, and the pending Equality Act of 2017 might be if you're not a bigoted religious fanatic? It's sort of, I don't know. We'll see. I haven't been scolded here yet. They usually scold you first, especially if you're not that far off. 10 people want answers from me. Greg Bonaventure works at Google out. What do you do at Google, man? What do you do at Google? See if this is any good. It's someone's favorite song. Nah, pass. Okay, we're good there for now. Let's see if there's any questions I want to answer. Okay, I don't feel like working on that. I could have sworn I answered this kid. There's people actually wanting my answer. Oh shit. I'm gonna pass on that one because that's hip hop shit that I know nothing about. Alright, where'd it go? So as you can see, I spend a fair amount of time other places besides kiwi farms and another message board. Take you over there for a little bit. Make them watch 2 hours before I get to laughing at them. Yeah, that's not gonna work. I need a righteous candle. I gotta get some candles. Matches too. I need better matches. I find better shit online than I can in the stores anymore, and it's usually cheaper. Because like that's what's killing the stores. Because the online places don't need any they got no employees. all they got is the owner and the guys doing the shipping. The owner and everything else is automated. A lot of those factories are so automated that shit's hardly ever touched by people. Robots go and get it off the shelf, put it on the shelf, put it in boxes. Let's see if there's anything else I want to or need to answer. When were you the saddest ever? Oh boy. I'll pass on that. I'll follow. I'll pass. I don't even know who One Direction was. Don't care. That's fucked up. I'm gonna stay out of that. Okay, I'm through there for a while. Take a look at Facebook, see if there's anything I need to attend to, which is probably not. I'm gonna really fucking make these guys like sit through a bunch of shit, cause I got stuff to do instead of wasting time on them. I got some things I really need to do, like upload some photos, upload some videos. Let's upload the latest videos. I don't even know what the fuck I've been. I can't check them. I'm just gonna upload them, not even title them or nothing. Just upload the latest 5 or so. I'm not sure which one where I have to stop. These are all fresh pictures in here. I got to upload. This isn't even the freshest. Just like 2 days ago. There's 2 more folders full.